Welcome, everyone, to the Better Love Movement podcast, where you will finally learn how to intentionally do dating and relationships right. My name is Anita Stoudemire, and I'm a licensed professional therapist and your personal love mentor. I've worked with thousands of singles and couples, giving them the skills needed to attract and keep the amazing love they desire. It's my heart's work to help people to get the skills needed to not only become the very best versions of themselves, but to help them grow and evolve emotionally and relationally. You can absolutely have the romantic relationship of your dreams. Come and let me show you how. Hey everybody, it's Anita with Better Love Movement. And so this week on the podcast, this is episode number 53. I'm actually going to be answering a very long emailed question that I got. I am not going to read the entire email because it is incredibly long. And I know sometimes when I listen to podcasts and people are answering questions that listeners send in and they're like really, really long, I ask myself, could they have condensed that a little? So I'm going to do just that. And really, the crux of the question is the title of today's podcast episode. And that is, should I get back with my ex? That's it, right? So I just took a 2-page email that I got and I boiled it down to today's podcast episode. Should I get back with my ex? So the listener emailed me, sent me an email, and she went into a lot of detail about this relationship that she had with her ex. And she gave me just a lot of background information and a lot of detail about their relationship, how long it had been going on, everything that happened in it. And I was like, okay, this is all good information. And it definitely helps me to create a more personalized response. But because I want to address everyone out there that's asking themselves this question, because there are many of us, myself included, that have been in this situation where we're asking ourselves, should I get back with my ex? Is this something I want to do? So I'm going to personalize it a little for her, but I'm also going to just answer that question in general because I do hear it a lot. And the women that I coach, every now and well, more than every now and again, they will say, my ex is calling again, or he's coming around, or he's making some romantic gestures, or he really wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't like there was any infidelity or anything, or he cheated, he lied or cheated on me. I mean, he really wasn't that bad. Should I consider giving him another chance? Should I consider getting back with him? Okay, so there are a lot of markers here when we're considering this question, and I've had to go through this myself. Prior to the last relationship I was in, this is an interesting tidbit about me, I have actually never gotten back with an ex before. Like that had never happened in my whole entire life where I even thought about going back with an ex. And so this last relationship that I was in, it surprised me that I considered it and did it. That was like a complete shock to me because that was not something I had ever done before, ever in life, ever thought about doing. And I'm not really sure what it was about this last relationship where I considered doing that and did that. But it's never something I even, that thought never even crossed my mind of getting back with an ex. In my mind, I was a big believer in they are an ex for a reason. And so, no, it was never even a thought in my mind that I would do that. And also, I'm the type of person where I probably stay in relationships longer than I should. I ride them out longer than I should. I go hard probably longer than I should. So when the time comes where I need to end that relationship, or if the relationship ends, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of emotionally spent. Like there's nothing left. I don't feel good at all about that relationship or about that person. So there is no temptation to go back to an ex for me at that point because I am truly at the end. Like I'm done. I'm good. So there's lots of things I want you to consider if you're in this space. You've got to consider a lot of things, but the most important thing I want you to consider is who is this guy now? That's the biggest thing. Who is this guy now? Is he the same guy that caused you to break up before? And there's lots of layers to that. So he had to be a person that could foster a relationship that wasn't healthy, wasn't happy, wasn't fulfilling, wasn't good. Because honestly, we're not leaving relationships like that. Like we're not leaving relationships that are good and healthy and happy. They foster growth. They foster, just good feelings. We're not leaving those relationships. We're not leaving relationships that are meeting our emotional needs, right? And that's a hard reality check. I tell so many people that go through breakups is that there is something that either your partner wasn't fulfilling in you or you weren't fulfilling in them. And that's why this relationship ended. Because a lot of people say, well, why did it end? Why did he or she break up with me? Because there was an emotional need there that you were not meeting. And that's just the cold, hard truth. I've been on the other end of it. And then I've also been the partner who did the breaking up, where I did the best I could to explain, here are the emotional needs that I have. Here are the needs that I have that aren't being met. And it doesn't matter if that person says, okay, well, I'm going to try to meet those needs, or I'm going to try to grow and change, or I'm going to try. If it did not happen, then we're done. I mean, there isn't anything else. Either that need gets met or it doesn't. And so if it did not happen, no matter how much they said that they were going to try, they were going to grow, they were going to learn, they were going to change, if it didn't happen, then it didn't happen. We're done. I mean, there's nowhere else to go with that. And so a lot of times relationships do grow and change, and the people do what's necessary to meet their partner's emotional needs. That's what couples counseling and therapy is all about. That's what I do all day long, is teach people how to meet each other's emotional needs. And when that happens, the relationship grows and evolves and it gets strong again and it gets better and people stay. But for most people, when their emotional needs are not being met, and there are 10 of them, Willard Harley wrote a book called His Needs, Her Needs, and it's all about the 10 core emotional needs. And I will link that in the show notes. But when the top 5 of our emotional needs are not being met by our partner, there's a big gap there. And Willard Harley believes that that's what causes people to go outside of their marriages and have affairs and all of that. And that does not mean that that person is directly the cause of the cheating. Because as you all know, if you've listened to my podcast, and I've done a couple of episodes on cheating and infidelity, when a person makes that choice to go outside of their marriage to get their emotional needs met, that's a character issue, period. Like that is a character issue. That's a character flaw. So I don't want to give that notion that, oh, if you're not meeting all of your partner's emotional needs, they have every right to cheat, or, they go out and cheat. Does it happen? Sure. But that's based on the choice that person makes or the character that is within them. Because again, I've been in relationships where my emotional needs weren't being met by my partner, and I have never cheated. Like that's never even a thought in my head, because I'm better than that. Like that's the one thing about me that I know to be true. I'm better than that. I don't lower myself to that type of behavior or that standard. I'm better than that. And so I have a conversation. I, try to use words. I try to use actions. I try to use every resource I have to express that my emotional needs are not getting met. And how that person can do that, I then give time, and then I exit stage left if it doesn't happen. That's who I am as a person. And I encourage other people to do the same. You know, you communicate your needs aren't being met, and then when they are not met over a period of time, you exit stage left. That's it. That's what people of high moral character do. They never result to cheating. They never make that choice to cheat on their partner because it's devastating. And to me, it says something about you. It says something about you as a person that that's the road you went down. Okay? And we can all grow and change. That's the good news. Every person has the ability to grow and change. And I encourage people to do that every single day. I believe people can do that. But a part of that is they have to want to do that. So it's not just about me believing a person can grow and change. That person has to want to do that as well. But I digress. I went way over here on something else. So who is this ex? Who are they now? Are they that same person that wasn't meeting your emotional needs, that was cheating, that was lying, that was taking you for granted, that wasn't growing, wasn't changing, was passive aggressive, was insecure, was jealous? Are they still that person? And if so, why would you want to get back with that? Why would you want to repeat this cycle over and over and over with this person? And let me wake some of you ladies up. When you do that, you are choosing to damage yourself over and over and over. Again, I've been there. I am not excluded from this conversation. I have been stuck in that cycle myself, where I was choosing to entertain this foolishness over and over. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I'm better than this. And nothing has changed. My needs are still not being met. I'm still not feeling good and positive and growing and evolving in this. This is not supportive. This is not loving. I'm not feeling good in this. I have to, this has to stop. So that is going to take time. That is going to take you really being honest with yourself about what you see. That's going to take really seeing, like really, really seeing this person for who they are right now. Has anything changed? And I don't mean outside of that person. I don't mean their car, their house, the way they dress, or if they've worked out a little bit more, or them, being very romantic now and sending flowers and all of that. I mean, inside this person, inside of their heart and their mind and their character, what's different? And it's going to show on the outside, but not by those, material trappings, not that way. It's going to show on the outside of them by how they're moving and how they're talking and just their state of being. It's going to show on the outside if on the inside of them has changed. So you've got to answer that cold hard question first. Is this person standing before me, calling me, texting me, wanting this second chance, wanting to go out again or date again? Are they the same person? Here's a quick way to find out. I'm going to give you the fastest, quickest way to find out if you are in fact dealing with the same person. So all of my good, healthy, feminine energy ladies that work with me and know me, they know about this trick, this tip. And it is no. The power of no. And so this is a way to find out if you're dealing with a good, healthy, masculine energy man. You're going to tell him no in some way, shape, or form. And how he reacts to that no, that's what you got. Okay? Here's an example. Here's what it looks like. So if your ex is calling and he wants to take you out, he wants to take you out for your birthday. Let's say it's around your birthday. This happens. And your ex calls and, I just want to take you out for your birthday and take you to your favorite restaurant and all of that, right? I want you to tell him no. I want you to say, Oh, that's really sweet of you, but I've actually already made plans. I've already got plans to do something, or, I'm not going to be in town on my birthday. And then I want you to wait. Wait and see what he says. Wait and see what he does. And one, if he pitches a complete fit or he pushes back in any way, you got the same person. Okay? That's what you got. You have the same guy that you had before. And unless you want more of the same, do not entertain him again. Do not start this cycle over again. But if he says, oh, okay, I mean, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But, if you want to, I don't know, maybe at another time, if you want to go out, if I'd love to, just take you out to dinner, or, you know what, maybe I can just send flowers. Maybe I can just send a gift to your house, or I can send flowers to work. That's cool. Then maybe this person is different. Maybe this person has grown and has changed deep down inside. But no, ladies, telling a man no, and there's thousands of ways in which to say no, and really paying attention to how he responds to that no, that speaks volumes about a man, about his character, about who he is, and has he really changed? And so if he can graciously accept your no, that's a start. It's not everything, but it's a start. It lets me know, wow, this guy is different. Where he would have pitched a fit before, or he would have pushed back, or he would have gotten angry, or he would have been really passive aggressive, he was not. Okay, maybe he is different. Maybe he has changed. But telling a man no, I don't feel comfortable going over to your house. No, I'm not ready to be involved, in an intimate way physically. I'm just not ready for that. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. Or, however you want to say it. I've already made plans. I'm not going to be able to go on that day. Or whatever it is. But it's that small no, or that soft no. However you want to basically say no, I want you to pay attention to how he responds to your no. That speaks volumes. So that's the first thing you're going to do. You are going to simply say no in the thousands of ways that you can say no, and then you're going to pay attention to how he responds to that. The second thing you're going to ask yourself is, am I healed? Am I healed? Am I in a good place? Am I all the way over him and over this relationship that happened previously? Am I in a good space? Is my head on straight? Am I able to be objective here? Because if the thought of hearing his voice makes you want to cry, or makes you feel sad, or makes you feel mad, you get pissed, then you're not. That's the answer. I want you to keep in mind that the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. Right? There is not a lot, honestly, that my ex-husband can say or even do that can get me riled up. I can't think of anything. Maybe something related to our kids. If he did something to them, yeah, that could get me mad. That could piss me off for sure. But there's definitely nothing he could do that would make me want to cry, or make me feel sad, or second guess myself. There is zero. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. So, yes, I am in a complete state of indifference. And he's attempted, he's tried to do some things that I just am like, yeah, it's annoying, but yeah, so what? Who cares? I'm in a complete state of indifference. So I want you to get closer to that before you even consider, is this something you want to entertain again? I want you to get closer to that state of indifference. So don't go from love to hate, because that's still a very strong emotion. There's still feelings there. And that hate can be, we can stir that pot and turn it back to love for a lot of people. That hate implies there's still some passion there. So we've got to get closer to a state of indifference with this. And if you're not there, if you're not healed, then I would say no. It's probably not a good idea to take this person back or entertain being with this person again. Because, again, you're not seeing with clear, objective eyes. You are still very biased here. So that's something you have to consider too. And then what I want you to do, which is going to make this very crystal clear in terms of, has this person changed? Do I want to entertain this again? I tell all my healthy feminine energy ladies, we sit down and we write out our list of what we don't want. Not what we want, because we've been taught that from childhood, that we write out this long list of our Prince Charming and everything that he has that we want in a man. No, we do quite the opposite. We think back to every relationship we've been in, every boyfriend we've ever had, every husband we've ever had, and maybe we're now divorced, every man we've ever had a crush on. And we write down what we did not like and what we do not want. What we don't want in our relationship and what we don't want in a man, in a partner. Once you have done that, okay, you move forward, whether it's with new men that you're dating, or in the case of this listener who is considering getting back with the ex. And you watch and you wait and you see if anything is happening with this ex on your don't want list. And I want you to put a little tick by it or highlight it. Ooh, I don't want that. And there it is. Okay? And honestly, if you have 2 or 3 things that you had to highlight or you put a little tick by that you don't want, that's your answer. You don't want that. And yet there it is. Ooh, passive aggressive. Don't want. Ooh, jealousy. Don't want. Angry. Don't want. Unhappy. Don't want. Lying. Don't want. Keep going. But that is the first thing you're to do when you get out of a relationship. You are to create your I don't want list. And you burn that into your brain, because moving forward, men will come. You will entertain other men. I know it seems like you won't. You're heartbroken. There's no other men out there. There's no one other man to make me feel like my ex. But the truth is, okay, there are other men out there. Okay, lots of them. And there are lots of other good men. There are lots of other attractive men. There's lots of other tall men, or whatever floats your boat. There are lots of other men out there. And you're going to feel something again for another man. But I want you to be smarter this time around, and I want you to pay attention and look for what you don't want, because we do not want to entertain what we don't want. We just don't. And whether that's a man who comes on really strong, whether that's a man who wants us to have sex with him on the 3rd date, I don't want that. That is so easy to turn down, because as soon as it happens, I'm like, oh, I don't want that. No, thank you. And that's it. And I keep it moving. So make that don't want list. And if you haven't done it yet, to my listener, now I need you to sit down and do it. Make that don't want list. Make the list of all the things that happened in that relationship that you did not want. All the things about him that you did not want. And then you're simply going to pay attention and see if those things show up again. And if they do, you don't want that. So there's your answer. That should make it really easy moving forward. But healing, growing, remember this breakup time, it's all about us. It's all about focusing on what we want, what we don't want, what we need, and giving that to ourselves. We're not looking for that outside of ourselves. We're focusing on what I call healthy distractions. I don't think there's anything wrong with a healthy distraction. Throwing ourselves into work or our business or school or our children or our passion project or whatever. Working out, looking great. I think all of those things are healthy distractions, and we need to be focused on them. But we've got to be smarter this next time around. We've got to be more patient. The 3 characteristics of a good, healthy, feminine woman are patience, passivity, and being appropriately vulnerable. And with this ex, I want you to be cautiously vulnerable, right? We have to be very cautious about how much vulnerability that we display in this situation. So, but being patient is the number one thing, is giving this thing time. If you dated this person for more than a year or 2, and half of that or more than half of that was not great, he's going to need time. He's going to need more than 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. He's going to need some time to really reflect and really make those changes and grow into those changes. It's not going to happen overnight. So if you broke up 3 months ago and he's coming back around, and he will, mark my words. If you had a good relationship, if you were good to this man, if you were loving and kind to this man, he will be back. That's number one. It's rare in my life that a man has not been back. They come back. They circle back around. If there was anything good and healthy and pleasant about you, loving about you, exciting about you, or interesting about you, they come back. So that's going to happen. I'm just going to give you that heads up. They all come back. They all return. Men are like boomerangs. And so he will return. And if it's been 2 or 3 months, chances are he is probably the same. There's a chance that, that was enough time to really, create a change in him. But I still would give it more time. And I would say that, like, I think you need more time. I think you need more time to heal and to grow and to learn about yourself and to become a better man. And am I going to sit around and wait? No. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to do any and everything that I want to do as a single woman. But I am going to hope and pray and wish you the best on your journey to becoming a better man. But no, I am going to live my fabulous life. I am a single woman and I'm going to act as such. And, I don't know what will happen in our future. I don't know. But for now, no, I am not going to close myself off to other suitors. I am not going to put up a fence around myself. I'm going to live my life as a single woman and be happy and healthy and whole and heal myself. And I'm going to encourage you to do the same. Go on that journey to healing yourself and growing and learning more about you. And who knows? I don't know what our future holds. I mean, maybe. But at the same time, I want to be honest and say, I will not wait for that process to play out. So be honest with the man about that. I will not wait for that process to play out, because honestly, that process could take 6 months. That process could take 6 years. I know some men out here who are doing the same thing, relationship after relationship. I mean, years, 20 years of just the same thing over and over and over, and they're not learning anything. And I'm sorry, you can't do that to my heart. You can't figure it out at the expense of my heart. I will not allow for that. And I don't want any of you all to do that either. So wish him well. You can maintain some sort of distant friendship that is not, calling every day or every week. But if I see you, hey, how are you? Are you doing okay? How's your family? You don't need to be angry. You don't need to be pissy. You don't need to do that. But you're going to show more than tell. Because remember, the language of men is doing, not talking. You're going to show more than you tell. So I can be friendly to you. I can be nice to you and speak to you and wish you the best. But that's it. I don't have to return your call. I don't have to be in your space. I don't have to bend myself backwards to try to be a close friend or do things for you. No, because right now, I am focused on me and my life and being the best that I can be. So that's it. But time will reveal if this person has changed and has grown and is not the same person that you were in a relationship with. Because I do still believe to some extent in what I felt before, which is we're exes for a reason. Something happened to cause this relationship to break down. Needs I had were not being met, or needs that he had were not being met. And so there's a lot of amazing people out there in the world. A lot of wonderful people. Now, all those people, because they're wonderful and amazing and great, they're not good fits for each other. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's bad, but there are some people out there that are just not good fits for each other. And it's happened to me. It's happened to plenty of other people. And we get confused by that. We think to ourselves, I don't understand it. I mean, this guy is such a great guy. I mean, why aren't we working? There are other reasons. There are other things that are explaining why you're not a good fit. A lot of us, we're just not a good fit for everybody. It's okay. Everybody's not going to be a good fit for me. There's plenty of men out there that are like, yeah, I wish Anita was a good fit for me, but she's not. There are things about her that just won't work for me. And I've said that about plenty of men. That, man, he's a great guy, and I hope he finds the woman for him. It's not me. We're not a good fit for each other. And so that's not something to feel bad about. That's not something to keep beating yourself up over. I want you to accept the fact that every man who is attractive, who is tall, who is handsome, and is very fit, and all of that good stuff, has a great job, all that good stuff, still may not be a good fit for you. Because while there is the resume, which is all the things we can see, all the things, that seem to be in order, all the boxes that are checked, right? But there's also connection. There has to be that deeper connection with this person. And sometimes that's missing. And I've had men say it about me. They've said, oh my gosh, you are wife material, you are good mother material, you're a great cook, you're smart and you're ambitious, and you're disciplined, and you're a hard worker, and you're fit, you work out, you keep yourself up. I just don't understand why, we're not going further. Like, why aren't we progressing? Or why don't I feel compelled to want to ask you to marry me? Or why, why are we not moving forward? And the truth of the matter is, there may not be that connection. That's happened, where the man doesn't feel a deep connection with me. And I don't take it personally. I may not feel a deep connection with him. That's just called so what? So don't internalize that. Don't make that about there being something wrong with you or you're not good enough, okay? It's not that. It's just that connection piece, it's deeper. It's deeper than any of us can really map out, or it's not a formula. It's something that's there. It's like when two souls recognize each other. So I want my ladies to not take that personally, to not make that about them, because it's not. It's just, again, there's a lack of connection there. There's a lack of emotional connection between you and a man. Or that connection is one-sided. You may feel it and he may not. I've had it where he felt it and I did not. It has to be mutual. There has to be some mutual connection there. So don't beat yourself up over that, but give yourself time and patience and space to really observe. Just step back and observe and see who you got. And is this person the same? Because I can honestly tell you, and I've been there now. I've been there with an ex. Now, this is the first time it's ever happened where I went back with this person and they were the same. They were the same person. And it's like I went back hopeful thinking, man, I want this to be different. I want this person to get it. I want this person to grow and change and want to do that. And over a matter of months, I was like, this person is exactly the same. Nothing has changed. There is no growth here. There is no evolution. There's no change at all. And guess what? It ended up the same. And dare I say it, this person, I believe their heart is good. They're a good guy. But what I needed just wasn't coming. It just wasn't there. We're not a good fit. And so I didn't beat myself up over it. I didn't even beat him up over it. I didn't say, you're bad, you're wrong. I simply noted what was there before my eyes. We're not a good fit for each other. We don't have the necessary parts to meet each other's emotional needs. And that's just what it is. And so I encourage people to then, continue that search. I encourage my good, healthy, feminine women to now open yourself up to allowing that masculine man to find you, to go back out there and present and position yourself so that that masculine man can find you. That's it. That's all it is. But be very cautious. This is a cautionary tale when it comes to exes. Exes are exes for a reason. They call it a breakup because it's broken. There's something there that does not work between the two of you. And apart, you all are great people, you're amazing people, and you would be an amazing partner for someone else. But together, you all don't work. And again, that doesn't mean that you're bad people or you're all messed up. No, it just means that formula of bringing the two people together just doesn't work. There are certain chemicals in chemistry that when you put them together, it's not good, right? That's kind of how I see it. It doesn't make either one wrong or bad. It just, you should not put those chemicals together. It will not have a good outcome. And sometimes people are that way too. I have had energetic experiences with people, men and women, where we just weren't a good fit. There was just an energetic, it didn't feel good. And so I know to avoid those people. I've had that with colleagues where I was like, man, I don't know what it is about her that we just are not a good fit. Her energetically, I just don't feel good around that person. I feel just this negative, So I know not to push that. I know not to keep going to that person because I'm like, yeah, we just energetically are not a good match. And I want women to start doing this more with men. Like really pay attention to the men that are just not a good fit for you. I think sometimes we get so blinded to the resume and we get so blinded to they should be a good fit. They should be a good match. Look at him. Look at all that he has. Look at all that, but ask yourself, is there a deeper connection? And it's the same with men, right? Men are so enamored by a woman's physical body or her beauty, or there may be things about her that, she's got her life together or whatever. And they get so enamored by that they don't check in with, is this woman a good fit for me? Energetically, do I feel good about myself when I'm with her? Does this woman make me a better man? Do I feel better about who I am as a man just being with her? Just energetically, something about her feeds my soul, feeds my energy. Don't be afraid to go there. So I hope this was helpful. It was so interesting that this came through my email because, like I said, I have recently gone through this and I thought to myself, okay, I gotta speak on this. But I hope this was so helpful for you all who are even considering this, and focus on your healing. Make sure you're closer to that place of being more indifferent, that you're not going from love to hate back to love. And if you have a question that you want to have answered on the podcast, please email it to me. My email address is info@betterlovemovement.com. And I will never, ever say your name. It is all anonymous. And depending on the length of it, sometimes I do read the letters, but then sometimes I have to basically, condense it to, should I go back with my ex? But thank you for listening. Please please share. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, please. But share this with anybody that you think could benefit from it. We are on pretty much almost every platform there is for listening to podcasts. So please subscribe on whichever platform that you listen to. That helps so much. That helps get the podcast out to more people. But thank you so much for listening. And as always, stay open to love.